Hi, this is a foreigner in the Philippines, and honey, do you have to write on my knee in biro, in ballpoint pen? Thank you very much. Well, anyway,
Just in case you're lost, you know?
just, well, does it, oh, it's my
Yeah,
address.
it's your name.
You know that my mother used to do that? Like,
Joke.
if she sent, I used to have my name and address written on on a little card here, just in case I got lost. I don't know that I ever had that idea of getting lost, but my mother had this very strange idea about things. She wouldn't like. She wouldn't say certain words. Like she wouldn't say like cancer. She wouldn't say cancer. She would say, "He's got cancer." So she wouldn't say cancer. She wouldn't. Well, we're always talking about the folklore here and how the culture is and the superstitions. And to be honest, I don't really see that there's that much of a difference. They just have different ideas. That's all. Like my mother, if anybody passed, and if the man had a girlfriend, then my mother would say, "That's his fancy piece." So she would call the woman a fancy piece. That was her idea. So if anybody had a girlfriend, that's what they would. Yes, well, he's got his. So the miming was one of the things that she did. Now, the other thing that I never quite understood about my mother was that she knew what I was doing, even though she wasn't in the room. She could be taking a nap on the couch in the living room, and if I went in the kitchen, the moment that I put my hand on the cookie jar, she would say, "Terence, what are you doing?" It was like a Twilight Zone. You know that voice that you hear like this, and it's something surreal, and that's what she could do. I never understood how she managed to do that. And then later, when she was gone, she had passed on, and everybody has issues about conversations that they wish they'd had with their parents. You know, we all would like to have maybe another hour or another half hour even with our parents who have passed on. And I remember I went to a therapist who suggested that we should do the rebirth. And when I thought about the rebirth, I thought, I don't really fancy that. You know, birthing wasn't a very good experience in the first place, you know. One of the reasons that I think people have difficulty, or women have difficulty in birthing their child, is because the child is there above the hatch. It's warm, wet, warm, all of its needs are taken care of, and now it has to go down through the hatch. I don't think it wants to go down. Why is it difficult for them to come out? Well, that's because they're holding onto the side like this. Well, the man suggested that I should do the rebirthing technique, and he said, what you have to do is you have to have that conversation with your mother as if she's here and as if she can hear you. So I thought, well, I'll go along with that. And I said, how do I do that? He said, well, speak to her. And so I said, Mom. And then I looked at him, I said, well, how are you supposed to know that she can hear you? He said, she can hear you. And I thought, what, does she have Globe or Verizon? Anyway, I tried to. And then I could hear. He couldn't hear it, but I could hear it. And I heard her, and she said, Terence, what are you doing? That was my rebirthing experience. So that didn't go too well. So even now I have to admit that I would, like a lot of people, would love to have that moment again with my parents and tell them a lot of things that I was never able to tell them now, and probably everybody feels the same. So in a way, having my mother-in-law now is another chance at being a good son. It's one of life's ironies, isn't it? But now I try to be a good son. I try to be a good member of this family that I now find myself in, and it's not a chore. It's a wonderful opportunity to be part of a close group of people who cared about each other. When we got our parcel yesterday, there's no thought of keeping any of it to yourself. We shared it. We shared it with other children that live down the hill. We shared the chocolate, which will be an enormous benefit to them, a joy to them. With Balalut and Talik and our sister Maninglina and Nanai, who managed to get her thank yous in at the end of the last video. So yes, I think that we can have a chance to speak to dead parents, but really the biggest opportunity that we have is that hour that perhaps you wish you could have with someone who's passed on is the hour that you have right now with someone that you cared about that's not passed on, that's here. That person that you cared about, that you may be having difficulties with, you can actually go and you can make up in some way, do a kindness, a thing that will make them think that things are actually okay between you, even though at first they may not be. So you can have that hour. I always think of that hour that I wish I could have with my mother and my father who are now gone, and I think about that right now. And if ever I'm about to storm off because I've got a bad temper, I am a cranky old fart, remember, and I try to temper that, and I do, and I have a very good teacher, because if anything ever goes wrong, my wife, Beth, will smile or laugh through it. No matter what happens, she will just laugh it off. And for a lot of foreigners, funnily enough, this seems to be something that annoys them. Well, they never take anything seriously. No, that's right. They don't take anything. She doesn't take anything seriously. And later, when I've left Crank City, and when I've left Grump Town, I realized that whatever I was being grumpy about was not really very important. So that's my little chat for now. Thanks for listening. Beth?
Please like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Thank you and God bless. Bye-bye.